Ray Dalio has been warning us for years, and you better prepare. In today's video, we're going to break down Ray Dalio starting to stutter a little bit, what he predicted is coming true, and I'm going to show you what the big companies, what they're doing for their flight to safety. Now, we've helped over 7,000 warriors since 2020, and we're here to help you prepare. Number one is we have an absolutely free consultation with my licensed insurance team, and we teach you how to secure, compound, and grow your wealth, protecting your principal in these volatile times with tax code 7702 Infinity Banking Concept. That's in the description of this video down below. It's an absolutely free consultation. We also have a second resource, which is a 16-page guide on exactly the blueprint that I created to free my family financially, spiritually, and mentally. That's all free in the description of this video or in my social media platform. So we're going to dive into this today. And you guys know I'm a huge fan of Ray Dalio. And if you have not dove into his content, I highly recommend it. He has what's called the Changing World Order and the Big Debt Crisis. I think that's, Big Debt Crisis right there on my book right there. Now, in the Changing World Order, he talks about these massive cataclysmic, is that the right word? These massive shifts that happen within ecosystems. And he went back 500 years, guys. We are experiencing climate change narrative, war narrative, socio-geopolitical, and financial narrative. Usually it's just one. We're experiencing all four. But I want you to listen to the end of this video. You're starting, well, in the beginning. I'm actually not going to show the beginning. Sorry. He's stuttering a little bit because I think he's like, wow, everything I predicted is coming true. So we're going to watch a video on Bridgewater Associates CEO, or I think he stepped down as a CEO, which is Ray Dalio, who has predicted this by studying history. We're going to go into the risk of credit, and then we're going to show how banks are starting to lay people off. And what are the big hedge funds doing? What are the big asset managers doing? I'm doing exactly what they're doing, guys, the flight to safety. Now, one thing you have to watch out for, we're in a high interest rate environment. We're buried in debt in America. Okay. They're trying to cool inflation on the back end of 2024, guys. If they lower interest rates, you better prepare for hyperinflation in assets. That's good news if you have cryptocurrency, stock market, or a house. So if they start to lower interest rates in this type of environment, guys, it is going to make assets super expensive. Now, here's the downside to that. If you're the middle class and you're not prepared for this, it is going to destroy you financially. The rich are going to get extremely rich, and the poor and the middle class are going to move down to the working poor, and the wealth gap is going to become massive. Welcome to the Great Reset. So let's first watch this video. This is Ray Dalio, one of my favorite people in the financial space. He's from Bridgewater Associates. I think he stepped down as the CEO, but he was on Fox. And basically, we're in a massive debt problem, guys. I don't know how they're going to fix this. I don't know how they're going to fix this. They could raise taxes, defaults, who knows? But listen to what Ray Dalio says, and then I'm going to show you what is actually happening, the flight to safety.
Well, just how much, I think the longer term damage of having these of having this enormous amount of debt. Obviously, that's playing into the political debate. But if one, I mean, it sounds to me you're also arguing that if we're going to have a soft landing, that maybe people are going to feel more comfortable holding as much debt as we do, and that the rates are not going to, blow through the roof.
No, I think we're talking about the short term as very distinct from the longer term. Mm-hmm. The short term we just talked about. The longer term is that we are at a point in which we are borrowing money to pay debt service. And there is
So we're now borrowing money to service our debt in America. Think about that. Imagine if America was you and you had to borrow money to pay your car payment. You had to borrow money to pay your house payment. Well, not only is that happening to Americans and globally, but that's now happening in America. Our government is borrowing money to pay for critical services.
Process by which when you keep having debt growth faster than income growth, then that means that you have debt service encroaching on your spending. That's the same for the government as it is for us. And as that happens, and you want to keep spending at the same level, there is the need to get more and more into debt. And the way that works, it's like it accelerates. We are at the point of that acceleration, which creates the supply-demand problem.
Okay, I've been telling you guys this since 2020. That's why I set everything up the way that I did. My insurance, my crypto assets, diversification, guys, because listen, we are now heading into uncharted territories. The government is no longer able to service their debt. They need to borrow from foreign countries, but foreign countries and central banks are reducing their treasuries in America. They're done with us, guys. They're done. So pay attention.
And it's made worse by the other issues that we're talking about. The internal political issue, the internal social conflict issue there is something that is affecting foreign demand for bonds. For about 40% of our debt is sold to foreigners. And so there is a concern of the American politics, of the controlling of this debt crisis, and these types of things. So we come back to the same basic question. How strong are we going to be? When we talk about strong, what I mean is also economically strong. And economically strong means financially strong. That means it's just a basic thing. Mm-hmm. Financially strong means, do you earn more than you spend?
No.
And do you have a good income statement as a country?
Nope.
Do we have a good income statement?
Nope.
And do we have a good balance sheet?
Nope.
More assets than we have liabilities.
Pretty simple. Do we have a good balance sheet right now, guys? 37 trillion in debt, something crazy like that. It went over 33 trillion. We have more debt than income. Our stock market is overvalued. Central banks are starting to reduce their treasuries, right? We borrow from foreign countries. You just said it, 40% of our debt's held outside the United States, and people don't want to lend to us anymore. Our credit rating got lowered. So you can have all these people comment on my video, say what they want, guys. I'm preparing for the worst, which makes me very peaceful and understanding, because if you prepare properly, you're going to have a massive amount of wealth come in. You're not going to change the system, guys. You're not going to fix it by protesting, by arguing. U.S. debt risk to become a fact of life for investors, says Citi. So now everybody's focused on this debt risk, right? We're not educated about this in high school. So this is really important. I want you to just take it to a practical sense, guys. If you were buried in debt and you had to borrow to pay your debt services, what would happen to you? You would go bankrupt. If you went bankrupt, what would happen? You wouldn't be able to pay the people that you owed. So think about this, guys. Our government is pretty much bankrupt. They have to borrow to pay for critical services. Your companies, the companies that you invest in, the 401k, all these different things, guys, everybody's on edge. Everybody's over leveraged right now. Okay, so I'm going to show you what the flight to safety is. So Citigroup begins to lay off as Wall Street braces for rough end to Q2 or 2023. Okay, so now we're going to go over to Cathie Woods. So Ray Dalio, Cathie Woods, Robert Kiyosaki are some of my favorite people. So I want you to listen to Cathie Woods here, okay? And then we're going to hear Larry Fink's flight to safety, and I'm going to show you what they're actually doing. So they are flying into cryptocurrency, guys. Bitcoin ETFs, Ethereum ETFs, and I'm telling you what's going to happen in Q1. They're going to approve these ETFs. The Bitcoin halving is going to happen, and we're going to see a massive parabolic move. You have to be prepared mentally for this. This is your chance to free your family financially if you do it correctly. Most people in the crypto space, influencers, are rich when crypto's pumping and they're broke when crypto's dumping, okay? We do the opposite of everybody else. We have real ecosystems outside of crypto. We have diversification. We have businesses. We have insurance. We diversify outside of crypto. We use crypto as a very speculative asset that we can make a large amount of money from 2024 to 2025, but you have to have an exit plan.
Well, as we said before COVID, as we were descending into that, and we are saying now, innovation solves problems. And you showed a few charts at the beginning that suggest that some of the innovators out there are solving problems. I mean, I think the most dramatic example of it to us was the behavior of Bitcoin last week. It absolutely took off. It was a flight to safety vehicle. And so...
okay, so that's what I wanted you guys to hear. This was an earlier video 7 months ago, okay? Then we fast forward to not too long ago, to 1 month ago, and Larry Fink, the guy that told you that cryptocurrency is a fraud used for money laundering, he said the same thing 7 months later, guys. The very thing they told you was a fraud. Bitcoin, Ethereum, cryptocurrency, blockchain is now becoming a flight to safety.
We should point out Ellie Tourette, my producer, broke the story that it was not real. But it's like wishful thinking, isn't it? Isn't this what this is all about?
Well, I can't talk about the specifics of anything. I think it's just an example of the pent-up interest in crypto. And we're hearing from clients around the world about the need for crypto. I mean, when you think about, I think some of this rally is way beyond the rumor. I think the rally today is about a flight to quality with all the all the issues around the Israeli war now, global terrorism. And I think there's more people running into a fight to quality, whether that is in treasuries, gold, or crypto, depending on how you think about it.
What a narrative change, right? What a narrative change. They're all looking at our government saying, guys, we are screwed, okay? So Woods Art 21 Shares unveils a 0.8% fee on pending spot ETF. They're already releasing their fees that they're going to be charging. That came out yesterday. And then we know that BlackRock files for spot Ethereum ETF to further crypto push. Family, we're here, okay? The financial system, you're not going to switch it. You're not going to change it. Jerome Powell is starting to stutter now. Ray Dalio is like, whoa, this is actually happening. So I'm just sharing from my paradigm what I'm doing and how I changed my family's life. So number one is I have cryptocurrency. I'm going to keep repeating the same thing on the back end of the video for lack of being judged, but it's important that we repeat the same thing so it gets ingrained in your mind. My cryptocurrency have a fundamental portfolio across payment rails, supply chain management, infrastructure, right? Fundamental cryptocurrencies, things like XRP, XLM, Ethereum. I'm dollar cost averaging into Bitcoin. I actually just increased my position in Bitcoin yesterday. I'm continuing to dollar cost average in every single week, but I have a very strict exit plan. I'm completely non-emotional about these markets. As everybody's trying to get a little bit more gain, I'm exiting the markets 50% of my portfolio from 2024 to 2025 as it goes up and hits my price targets. As I pull, I'll be max funding index universal life policies, insurance. I secure my principal. I don't care what anybody says about insurance. They teach you how to insure your life. We teach you how to insure your wealth. Number three is business, information, technology, and attention. We're forward thinking. We're future proofing our businesses. We have equity in multiple companies where that's how we increased our earned income every single quarter. Okay. Then we have precious metals. I'm in silver. I'm going into gold as we go into 2024. And then we're heading into real estate. And my number one thing that makes me the richest man in the world is my relationship with God and following the life of Jesus. So these are the things that we have for you guys, how we can help support you. Everything's description down below. Everything we have is free. You have a free 16-page guide that shows you what we're doing. Number two is we have a free consultation with our insurance team. And I want to warn you guys, there's so many scammers out there. We do not invest people's money. That is not me proactively DMing you about your portfolio. I will never proactively DM you or comment about your cryptocurrency. So don't ever send anybody money on WhatsApp, social media platforms. Even with our insurance company, guys, we're not paid by the client. You're doing a transaction with an insurance company, a legit insurance company. You never send money to us. You send it to the insurance company. So please use discernment, especially with all other influencers. Influencers aren't reaching out to you to ask about your portfolio or ask you for money. If they are truly scamming you, but that is not them. There's thousands of scammers. The social media platforms don't do anything about it. They actually block us, not the social media platform, but the scammers, so we can't get in there. So I love you guys. I appreciate you so much. And I hope that you're paying attention. And I hope to see you on the other side, family. So this is what we're doing from our paradigm. The next paradigm for me, as I learn to educate myself around it, I'm now setting up a trust and a family office in the future. And then I'll come back and teach when I have the education around that. So as we always say, warriors, let's get your shit together. Let's go.